My dad told me this story that instead of milk, when he was a baby, they were giving him fufu. So that's why he always eats fufu. One day I went around town to go find a black barbershop and I showed them a picture of the cut and they did it. After they did it, I walked out. Someone's like, yo! I was like, what's up? He's like, you got the juice, man. So from there, I took the name, made a Juic3Boy.
Hey beautiful souls, welcome to another wonderful episode of Chop It Up with your girl, Leben and Mau. This is the platform where we explore culture, entrepreneurship, music, travel, and more. We share the stories of Black and brown individuals that are doing it, that are taking the plunge. And this is a platform where you can learn. You can also learn what you can do to get to where you want to be. So today we have a very special guest. His name is Juic3Boy, all the way from Toronto. Juic3Boy, how are you doing today?
Doing amazing. How are you doing?
I'm here. So Juic3Boy is an incredible artist, Toronto-based with Ghanaian roots, but he grew up here in Alberta.
Yeah.
And you have a blend. Part of your life. So you have a blend of Afrobeats, hip hop, gospel, soul, yes. And you inspire audiences with your heartfelt lyrics and conversations that go through in your music. And we also want to give a big shout out to Royal Studio, Arnell, and the whole team for the space today. So if you ever need anything, audio production needs, make sure you reach out to them so you can get your needs met.
Looking for some peace of mind. This woman cannot normalize. My mental health is on the rise. It's starting to get jeopardized.
So welcome, how are you feeling today? Arriving back in the city, leaving the bustling Toronto, back to the prairies.
You know what's crazy? Even the day before I missed my flight here.
Yeah, I saw.
So I had to be here obviously to speak with you and spend time with my family and friends. So I made a way and God made a way and I'm here. So
and
I feel good.
And how is it having the cold welcome you back? Or what's the weather like there right now?
So the morning I was leaving, it started to snow a bit. We had a little bit of snow the week before, but then it flushed out and then it just came back again. So it's getting a little bit colder, but it ain't it's not like this right now. It's not
like the prairie weather.
Nah.
Cool. So we like to start off with a segment called Chop Choices. I give you an option of two things. You let me know what you prefer and why.
Cool. Let's do it.
First up is banku or fufu?
Banku.
Really?
Yes.
Why? And how?
Okay. So short story. My dad loves fufu.
Okay.
My dad told me this story that instead of milk, when he was a baby, they were giving him fufu. So that's why he always eats fufu.
Okay.
So I think when they had me, my body just does not love to eat fufu at all. I can remember the last time I ate it was maybe 6-7 years ago.
Oh wow.
I do not like fufu, and banku is just so much better.
I'm surprised because typically, and I don't want to be stereotypical, where you come from, they're known for.
Yeah.
So that's why.
Ashanti people, we love fufu, but as for me, I guess you could say I'm a fraud when it comes to that.
So, but what would you want your banku with?
Okra.
Okay.
Some nice beef.
Okay.
Just the basic structure of it.
Okay, because for me, ewa girl, banku all day, every day, till I die. But for me, other than okra soup, it would be pepper and the fish. That one. Oh
yeah, with fish too. Yeah,
I think it's also Accra in me is
that can go on too with fish.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, honestly, and typical Ghanaian, I would add egg too. I would.
For me, I will not add eggs.
Some protein, some extra protein. Why not? Just
gosh. Okay, so I'm a piano or Afrobeats.
Afrobeats.
Really?
That's self-explanatory.
For me, they're
no.
Really?
No. Afrobeats.
So have you gotten into the I'm a piano feel
Yeah. So I actually released a song last summer called Zero.
Mm-hmm.
It was an I'm a piano style sort of song. I love the genre. I definitely appreciate what South Africa has done with it and Afro house in general, but for me, it's got to be Afrobeats
All day, every day.
all day, every day.
Okay, so
Yeah.
solo studio session or like a collaboration with a group?
I'm open to both. But I would say I'm someone that I love an intimate studio space. So just a few people, especially if they're gonna be contributing to whatever I'm working on. I don't like to have bare mans in here and then we're just, wasting time. There's noise and all that. Really, for me, music is spiritual, so I don't like when there's a lot of stuff trying to interrupt that. So I guess I'll say solo.
Okay.
Yeah.
A high energy performance or like a space like a festival or a concert, or would you prefer like an intimate acoustic set?
I love both, to be honest.
That's fair.
Can I pick both?
Yeah, you can pick both.
Yeah,
you can pick both.
Both.
Okay. Would you prefer Ghanaian jollof or
Ghanaian jollof?
I didn't even finish the sentence. Or fried rice.
Ghanaian jollof.
You see, the bone
I like fried rice though. I really do.
I feel like fried rice can hit if it's made right.
Yes.
For me, I really like fried rice.
Yes, but I'll say for your question, I will say Ghanaian jollof because I recently had fried rice. I won't say where I got it from. And it was
wasn't hitting.
Not hitting.
Okay.
Not at all, no.
Would you rather traditional high life or like contemporary Afrobeats?
That's a hard question. Ooh. Okay, can you give me some like can we narrow it down like to like an artist that was doing
this has been me on the spot. Okay, high life musician. I'm gonna say Osibisa.
Yeah, Osibisa.
Would they be considered ish?
Yeah.
Kojo Entry.
And Kojo Entry for high life?
No, he was hip life.
He was high life.
He was high life?
He was high life, yeah.
People are gonna slander me.
Oh no. You're still on the ball.
Guys. I know my highlights.
There's a lot. If you want to specifically talk about Ghana and high life, Ghanaian.
No, that's what I'm talking about. Like Ghanaian high life.
Yeah, there's Daddy Lumba, there's Ofori and Pansa, there's Kojo Entry.
There's a lot.
There's Amachi Dede.
Yeah.
There's so many people. There's so many.
And then like right now with like Afrobeats in the Ghana sense, which is like it's an interesting topic to have because I've been listening to a lot of like radio stations that are like saying that maybe it is not like technically Afrobeats, it's like a derivatory high life-ish, but there's elements of Afrobeats in it. But when I do think of like Afrobeats artists from Ghana, I would say King Promise.
Yeah.
I would say Last Mid.
Yeah, Last Mid.
Yeah, I would say Olive the Boy.
Yep.
So I guess like the high life versus
them.
Yeah, with the well, it's not a versus because they're also inspired.
Yeah. They're also contributing to the greater good of Ghana in general with our music. Just as a good boy that I am, I have to pay respects to the high life legends. So I'll say traditional high life for now. But we are slowly progressing. Like you said, Last Meet is coming up. All of the boys having a very big year. King Promise has been, really taking over. Stonebwoy. So a lot of us coming up, and then Black Sharif has made his own sort of, genre style with the rebel music. So we're slowly coming. So I agree. Everybody's doing a great job. Yep.
I agree. So one segment we'd like to go into is called Proverb Picks. So because this is a cultural platform, I feel that a lot of like youth and even in the diaspora, I realize when it comes to African proverbs, like my parents, when I send them proverbs, they're like, I grew up hearing this, but they may not like share it always with us. Yeah. So I sent you a proverb and you're going to say it to us in Chi. And then I can say it in English and we can dig through it.
Before we start this, Ghana for if I don't say it properly in Chi, I'm born in Chemi, because
he's saying please be with him.
This proverb was deep. I did read it. So you want me to go first?
Yeah, you can go first in Chi. Yeah.
Hey. All right.
So in English, it translates to, is it because I blow the dust off my eyes that two antelopes walk together?
Yeah.
So let's dig into that. What do you what do you think it means? There's no like right or wrong answer. Because I see
So
it kind of.
it is because I blow the dust off my eyes that two antelopes walk together.
Yeah.
I would say that for me, just reading the proverb, the first thing that comes to mind is because that I have a clear vision, I'm able to, do things with other people. I feel that in life, when you don't really know where you're going, you can't bring anybody with you, right? You're kind of just like the blind leading the blind, right? But when you have a clear vision, you have a better opportunity to bring other people along to where you want to go or where you want to take them. So for me, in simple terms, I think that's how I see it.
Yeah,
that's how I see
like when it came to two antelopes, I think it's like we're working together with somebody, like when the dust is on your eyes, I guess you're only focused on yourself.
Yeah,
that's what I kind of got.
That's true. That's true.
That's what I kind of got for it. But like when you see beyond yourself,
you're
able to work with somebody else,
and
like get to whatever the destination is together.
That's a great observation. I try. No, that's a good. That's
all right. So we're gonna get into like getting to know more about you. First of all, the name Juic3Boy. Where did that come from?
Looking for some peace of mind. This woman cannot normalize. My mental health is on the rise. It's starting to get jeopardized.
So first of all, the name Juic3Boy. Where did that come from?
So, flashback to when I first moved to Edmonton. I was born in Montreal, raised in Ottawa, and then I moved to Edmonton just when I was going to high school. And I was struggling to find a barber.
Okay.
You probably know why at that time, why I was struggling to find a barber. I just had an afro, and I watched the movie Juice one night. And I love you've seen Juice, right?
Yeah.
I love the way that like Tupac and Omar Epps were like holding themselves together, their style, their swag, everything. And then they had this specific cut. It was a high right, low left, and then the line in the middle. I was like, yo, I've never seen mans like during this time, pull off this haircut. Let me see if I could get a barber to do this for me. Then one day I went around town to go find a black barbershop, and lo and behold, I found one, thank God. And I showed them a picture of the cut, and they did it. After they did it, I walked out. Someone was like, yo! I was like, what's up? He's like, you got the juice, man. So from there, I took the name, made it Juic3Boy. It was an E initially instead of a 3.
Oh, okay.
But I changed it to a 3 because 3 represents a lot of things in my life that are important to me. And then there was an artist, I think from the UK, that had a similar name, and he wanted to collab. And I'm just like, that is not my brand. Like, you're gonna spoil it. So I made that slight alteration, and then that's how we came up with it.
I always thought the 3, like the way it's positioned, because I know like in the Ashanti language.
Yeah, Adinkra.
Yeah, Adinkra language. Like in the Ashanti language, there's like that tone or that like in some words.
Yeah.
So like even when you say like mabre, I know there's like the a 3.
Yeah.
So that's why when I saw it, that's what I thought
it was. Yeah. It's not necessarily a Adinkra symbol, but
I think like part of the language though. Yeah.
So it's legit 3. It's legit 3. But that could also be
but I think it's like but it shows that like you maybe without you thinking you were still implementing a part of your culture. In the name without you even thinking about it.
Yeah. I agree. No, I agree. Okay. I do agree.
Okay.
I do agree. I guess, I got the Ghana crochet. Shout out to Amanda. She makes crochet hats. I think she has some in South Africa, Nigeria, a Nigerian one, and then the Odumodu ones as well. So shout out to Amanda for making this hat for me.
So let's get into your childhood. You said you born in Montreal.
Yes.
And you lived there for a significant amount of time. And I know do you still speak French? Or
Un petit peu.
No, but you cannot read it, no?
I can read French.
Write
I can sing in French. Do I understand everything that I'm reading and writing? No.
But the basis is still kind of there. Here and there.
Un petit peu.
Okay. So how was it growing up in Montreal?
So honestly, can't remember too much. I left just before I was 1.
Oh, okay. So that's
But
super early.
I went to Montreal a lot growing up because Ottawa and Montreal is just like an hour or two away. I went recently, actually last year around this time, and then I went to the apartment where I grew up. So it's kind of nostalgic, but not really because I didn't remember that when I was a kid. It's just stories of what my parents told me. But yeah, life in Ottawa was pretty different. I had to take French for 8 years. It was mandatory, like there, you got to take French for 8 years before you can. So when I moved here, I was like, yeah, I'm not taking French anymore. Let me take Espanol. Let me,
I realized that because growing up, I grew up in Ontario and you had to take French. And then when we came here, it was an option. I took it for a while, but those basics that I learned in French, like I still have, like I know the days of the week. I can count. And I know. No. Okay. No, I be saying it too much because when I was in Senegal, I was out here doing under trois quatre cinq, everything like to like 30 or 40. But what are some things that people said about you in your childhood that you recall, whether that's like teachers or parents? Like, what were you like as a child? What was your character?
My mom said that I love to eat food off the ground. So I'd be crawling, and if I see anything, any like, let's say a Cheeto under the couch, I'll just, but I think I smiled a lot. I was very cute. See, now that I'm handsome, so it makes sense. Thank God. Yeah, I think I was a very outgoing kid to certain extents because I did have a lot of allergies. So sometimes I would want to go outside, but just like I go outside and the mosquitoes and all this going on, I'm sneezing, so I'll go inside and I'll be playing video games. But I was very active, played soccer from 7 up till university. Yeah, I had a lot of friends and family growing up in Ottawa that I still speak to till this day. Yeah, had a lot of good and bad memories, but I feel that it all shaped me to who I am today. Yeah, there's a lot I could babble about, but
no, I completely understand. So when did you start getting involved in music? Was it in Ottawa or was it when you came to Alberta? What was that like transition like and why?
So it actually started in Ottawa. I was singing in the children's choir, and then as I got a bit older, some of my older cousins, they were in the studio making music, and then they're like, "Yo, Joseph, you can sing. Like, come and sing on this track." So my first track, I was actually like 11 or 12, and after that, I didn't do music again until I think during uni or so. Because my friends out here were doing music, and similar story to the one in Ottawa where they had a song and they thought that I could do something on it, and then from there, the rest is history.
So when you decided to because I feel like a lot of people that are in music now, there's something that inspired them to get to this point. So was it like family? Was it friends? Were you writing? Were you doing poetry? Like, what was that kind of like instinct that you were like, okay, this is something I want to actually pursue?
I think for myself, it's not like I looked for music. I feel like it just found me. Like, there was a certain point in my life where I didn't know what to do, and I was getting tired of explaining certain things with my own words or conversations with people, and then I started writing a lot. And during my time in uni, I was like, yo, I really want to do music. I really want to make something out of my life with it. And my brother really encouraged me. He told me, hey, I know this is what you want to do, but try to get that, certification from school so that you'll have something going for yourself afterwards. So that happened. And then, hiding music from my parents for 3 years, even though they knew about it from the community, or till this day, I don't know. If you ask me who told my parents I do music, I can't tell you. But a lot of people really encouraged me to, push on this path because they saw the talent, they saw my passion for it, and they saw that I was actually making impact with it as well too, right? I think that's one thing that a lot of artists or creatives forget about is like what impact or legacy are you trying to leave behind. So yeah, I feel like my environment really inspired me to take on this journey.
So you mentioned how you hid this from your parents for a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
What was the reason?
I just I just felt like because I was in school, that was like their main priority. I felt like if I told them, hey, I want to do music, they would have had a perception that I'm not taking my life serious, or, you know, now I'm getting into certain things that are not, you know, something that I should be doing. I guess I just underestimated how they would feel about it. So I was like, I'd rather just keep it to myself. And as I shared before, I was getting tired of explaining myself why I chose to do certain things. So I was like, let me just keep it in and then put it in my music.
And because I know your parents to be very supportive, like they show up to your shows and stuff. So how has it been now?
Oh, it's been amazing. It's been amazing. Ever since I've left home to start my own life in Toronto, they've really been supportive, encouraging me. I remember I may have shared this to you during my EP listening party, the one that you hosted actually. My dad came to see me perform for the first time, and he's like, son, honestly, I'm very convinced now, and, you know, go for it. Got it. So yeah, my parents are like my biggest supporters and fans. So yeah, I thank them so much for, you know, just believing in me and, you know, encouraging me to do this.
So you started music basically here in Edmonton, and then you ended up moving to Toronto. So what kind of led you to that decision? And then we can go more into like the Toronto scene, and if you can maybe even talk a little bit about the music scene here in Alberta or Edmonton, and like the things that you went through and things that you saw.
Yeah, so you know, in life sometimes you just have to take a next step to really get to where you want to go eventually. Living in Canada, I'll be honest, the music scene is not huge at all. I think even Atlanta's music scene is bigger than the whole of Canada.
Okay,
like,
let's be nice now.
No, I'm being honest, and it's no disrespect. It's just, you know, population, and, you know,
I think it's more than just population, because like growing up, it's like I'm aging myself. Early 2000s, Ontario girly, like much music, much on demand. Like I feel like our media space, our music space, and even like going to school and hearing about like the radio, like regulations of how much community music needs to be played. But obviously the aim sometimes would be like, okay, I can make my music if it gets approached by the states, and like I get that.
I'm gonna go there.
You're gonna go there.
Yeah, and so, it's still occurring right now. I know many artists from Toronto that have, you know, gotten their big break. They've gone to the States, and then, you know, once they've established themselves in the state, then they come back and, you know, contribute to the scene over here, which I totally respect, right? I just feel that, you know, with all the money that we have in music grants and, you know, the creative scene or whatever, like, I feel that, how do I even put this into proper context? I just feel that there's so much talent in Canada that people should be able to really establish themselves here rather than having to leave. But that's not the reality right now. Not to say that, you know, one formula works for everybody. You know, different formulas can work, right? You can make it here in Canada. You can make it out of Edmonton. We have Ruth B. Ruth B made it out of Edmonton, right? There's a lot of people, you know, but I just felt for my own career, I had to get out of my comfort zone, and also just for growth as well. Just to make that move to Toronto and establish myself a bit over there, and then see where, you know, God wants to take me next after that.
So transferring like and moving to Toronto, what was that process like? I know you lived in Ottawa, but Toronto's a completely different city. So what was that? Let us give us insight into like what that transition was like and how it's been so far. How long has it been even?
Yeah, it's been almost 3 years.
Okay.
It's nearly 3 years now. Feels like forever. But It really was tough in the beginning because I was like, I actually was gonna go during the pandemic, before the pandemic hit, but then I was like, you know what, this might not be the right time to move. Let me take a step back and sort some things before I, go. And yeah, it was a tough process. Had to go through so much different things. Had to make sure that I knew what I was gonna do, out there when I moved. Because I feel like when you move to a new city, you can get lost to like what it offers and the people, and then just kind of being everywhere and anywhere when you don't need to be. So I came with full focus. I was blessed to have some people really support me and help me get around a few things. So yeah, it's been great since I've gone. And I also went back to school as well too to pursue a degree in social and community development. So I feel like all of this stuff is just kind of like coming together for me in a way where I didn't really know it would.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Yeah.
So what made you, because I know you have a background in social.
I have a background in correctional services. So it's like Canadian justice, like that sort of thing.
So what made you want to pursue like this? Is it community development?
Yes, social and community development. So for me, when I moved to Toronto, I was working in the school board. I still am working in the school board as a behavioral educator. And a lot of like the staff and the administration saw a skill in me that I didn't really take in. They said like, you're amazing with people. You know how to, diffuse situations that are escalating. You know how to like relate, socialize. Like you're present, you're active. So you would be a great teacher. Like me teacher. Yeah. Sometimes I can't even teach myself how to do certain things. So, so I went back to school to pursue this degree to actually go into teachers college and just, further my education while I'm pursuing my music career.
Yeah. So I want to get into kind of like growing like with your parents and like music and the inspirations. Like what were your parents playing? Yeah. What type of music were they playing at home? If you can mention some of the artists or the songs that you vividly remember.
Wow. There wasn't like a day where music wasn't being played around me, whether it be in the car or at home. Obviously on Sundays and Saturday mornings, there was, Ghanaian gospel being played. And then Afrobeats with my siblings, they love Afrobeats and like early 2000s R&B, like Mariah Carey or Usher or like, those type of sounds, hip hop as well. And then when I started to really find myself again with music, I took it upon myself to talk to my dad about, what he was listening to. So he was listening to a lot of Ghanaian, Nigerian, and high life from Cameroon. There's a big high life artist from Cameroon, Prince Nico and Barga. Rest in peace to him. And he's the one that created the classic Sweet Mother. So my dad created a whole list of musical artists during that time, because my dad used to teach in Nigeria in the 80s. So he gave me a whole list of artists during that time, and I was just studying, how they were creating music, what, songs that they put out. And yeah, I felt like that influenced my rebranding, if you want to say.
Yeah, so that's a lot of people. It's interesting you say that your dad taught in Nigeria, because I know a lot of Ghanaians, like funny enough, we have ties to Nigeria, like culture and how that you feel like culture has shaped you, especially the Ghanaian culture, the West African culture. How has it shaped you? How has it shaped your music? How do you feel your culture has helped you view life as a whole?
Yeah, my culture has definitely played a huge part in who I am today. If I could even bring it back to the time, I think Burna Boy came here the first time in 2019. And I went to a show. It was at Union Hall. I was like, yo, this guy is so proud of being African. Like, and he's making music that is, very accommodating not just to the African, but to the South American, to the Asian, to the European, you know, to everybody, right? So I feel like my Ghanaian, my African culture and tradition has, you know, shaped the way that I even, when I order certain stuff, my first thing that I want to eat is, you know, home cooked Ghanaian food, right? I would eat that over anything. I took it upon myself to, you know, learn Chi more fluently one year. The year that I was going back to Ghana, I think it was 2021.
Yeah.
That whole year I was just speaking Chi with my mom at home because I didn't want to go back home and then get embarrassed, you know? So
and when you went, did you feel like you were up to par, or?
I do feel I was up to par because there were so many instances where I knew these guys were trying to finesse me or set me up, and they were speaking Chi and they knew that I was from, you know, abroad, right? So yeah, and for the most part, because my grandma, she just speaks Chi, right? So I had no choice. I had to really, you know, pick that up. So yeah, my culture has influenced me in so many ways, how I see life, how I do certain things, even how I shower. I cannot shower without sapo.
Yeah.
I need to,
the African net sponge, as they call it online now.
Like I just couldn't do it now, right? So yeah, no, it holds a key spot in my heart. So yeah.
So you mentioned how like seeing Burna Boy live helped you, like when you saw him being so proud of being African, that also helped you. It also ignited you to be proud of like who you are and where you come from. And I think it's been amazing to see the past few years, especially in Edmonton, seeing the scene like grow, seeing artists come and seeing even the people who come to like view these shows. Like when I went to the Ashaka concert and like I used to dance. So I used to dance to Afrobeats, and never in like my 2016 mind would I think we would be in a place like Rogers Place. Like, and like sold out, stadium filled, not only Africans. So it's been an inspiring moment. How does it feel for you being African now? I think a lot of people are always like, oh, when I was African, I was being bullied and this and this. But how is it like being proud of like your roots and where you are now?
I just feel so, I feel myself. I don't feel like I'm being an imposter or I'm faking it. Like I feel like a true African, even though I was born in Canada. You see me on the street, you'll know I'm a man from Africa, you know? It's amazing to see that, because especially growing up here in Edmonton, I feel that not even just the African community, but the Black community in general is so dispersed in a way where, and tell me if I'm not, you know, I'm not always right, that sometimes we're even, let's say we're walking around each other, we won't even look at each other. We're like, you know, there's not something that brings us together, right? There's like a lack of identity, you know, a lack of community. So I feel like now it's slowly bringing people together, that someone that you thought, you know, was, let's say they were just a Black person from, you know, Nova Scotia. They're, you know, I'm from Jamaica, I'm from Sierra Leone, I'm from, you know, Ghana, I'm from Togo, right? So I feel like the atmosphere is shifting a bit when it comes to.
I think it has. Edmonton has grown from even like from when you left. I feel like during COVID, people came up with more stuff. So there's more communities out there rather than us relying on like only one place at the same time. So I think it's definitely grown. It's not as, I don't want to say as bad as it used to be, or it's not as like scarce as it used to be. There are
definitely
spaces,
see that.
Because before I felt like if it was like one event for one day, that's where everybody congregates. But now there can be multiple things going on. And sometimes you may not even know certain people until you like reach out to certain spaces. And because there's been an influx of immigrants and new people coming into the city, so that's also helped as well.
Definitely.
Yeah. So I want to
love it.
I want to get into some pop culture moments. So we know that at the beginning of 2024, Cat Williams, you know, he said a lot of things, and
Cat Williams,
with what he said,
prophet.
With what he said like everything is gonna come to light, everything is gonna come to truth, and it did. And with 2025, we don't even. I feel like for 2025, there needs to be another interview that he tells us what
there
happened.
definitely needs to be a part 2 because I feel like he didn't even say everything. I feel like there's so many things that he's discovered or he knows about personally that you couldn't, like, Shannon Sharpe couldn't cover everything in that one episode. And that was a long episode.
But I feel like even that part was enough for everything else that's rolled into for the rest of the year. So
he meant smoke. He's like, yo, everybody's getting exposed. Like, everybody's getting exposed. And
so with that, what are some things that you're taking into 2025 that you've left in 2024? So we can go back and forth. You can mention one thing, I can mention one thing. You can mention another thing. I guess we'll do 4. So what's one thing you're leaving in 2024? It could be a lesson, it could be something you've learned, or
in one word, or like
it could be an explanation. It doesn't have to be one word, it could be explanation.
Okay. Good question. This is tough. I would say regrets. Leaving them. Leaving the regrets.
Okay. Interesting, because when we speak about the EP, you do mention regret as a lyric.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. I think one thing for me is relationships that are no longer benefiting me. I no longer am putting myself in a space of like, I have to push for this to work. It's more like, if it's not working, it's not by force.
Can I steal the same one?
You have to choose something else.
Okay,
to leave.
I'll choose something
What's something else you're leaving?
I'll choose something else. I'll just change the wording. I would say time wasting. I feel like I'm pretty good with my time, but there is certain days where, because I'm so productive and active, I give it to myself just to kind of do nothing, but even it's how I'm using it. So I'll say time wasting. I'll leave that in 2024.
Good one. I feel like there's so many things this year I've learned going into the new year. I don't want to say time wasting too, because I definitely agree with that. I want to say caring what people think. And like, even for me, sometimes I'll post something on IG and I'm like, let me take it off. Like the last day I remember, I was like, is it on my IG? Is it on my name?
Yeah.
Why am I saying, I have to take it off? Like, unless it's something bad, but like, it's my platform.
Yeah.
So I shouldn't push myself in a way to like figure out what people would like. Because sometimes they're not watching, sometimes they are watching, and it doesn't matter at the end of the day.
Doesn't matter.
Great. So what would you say is the craziest DM you've ever received?
Okay. So I have this video, right? My mom, this woman, my mom, this was during my sister's wedding. And my mom, I told her, give her a shout out to people on camera. She's like, hi, everybody. Thank you for coming. Thank you for marrying Joseph. Or she said something like, thank you like, she's basically telling Gail to like come my way and marry me. So then somebody, I don't know who this person is.
Oh, wow.
Don't ask me. She comes in my DM and she's like, hi, Joseph, your mom wants you to get married, so let's get married. I'm just like, and this was like no picture, no images, like one of those accounts on Instagram that have nothing. And I'm just like, even what you're saying doesn't make sense. Like, how is this? So it was pretty crazy and pretty random. But that video did a lot of weird stuff.
But your mom has been going viral. It's not the first time she's gone viral.
Yeah. She's been going viral. Like, if anybody follows me on socials, you'll see, like, I'll catch a never dull moment with my mom. So yeah, she's funny. I think that's where I get my humor from. Yes.
For making us special.
Special? Yeah.
Thank you for getting somebody for Joseph.
What do you mean by that?
Marry.
Looking for some peace of mind. This woman cannot normalize. My mental health is on the rise. It's starting to get jeopardized. So girls be walking down.
Your EP is out right now. It's called In My Own Skin.
Yes.
So at this stage in your career, what does this EP mean to you?
Honestly, I feel the most secure right now regarding my music career and just everything in it. Hence, that's why I named the title In My Own Skin, because I just felt like now I know who I am. Now I know there's a lot of things that I can't control, right? There's a lot of experiences that I face that, make me proud of, what I went through. Because later on, I kind of figured out why this and this happened. And yeah, like your skin, you get a lot of bruise and bumps and all of that. But at the end of the day, it's your own skin, right? So you have to be proud of it. You have to be proud about it. You have to embrace it. You have to acknowledge that, So, yeah, I feel it took me some time to, figure out the name. But I felt that In My Own Skin was, something that really described the whole body and everything that I went through since I've left home to Toronto.
So how would you compare this, what would you say is different about this project compared to other projects that you've had come out before?
I'll say definitely more collaborations. Not in a sense where I'm featuring other people. I think there's only one feature on the project with two artists. Shout out to Soji Joseph, my guy, and Kojo Dave, my brother. I feel like this one is a bit, I've always created intimate projects, but this one is intimate in so many different aspects. It's not just about love, it's about experience. It's about, my relationship with God. Shout out to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ.
Period.
And personal issues that I had with, other relationships that I was in previously. So it's like just a whole collage of everything together, put into one. So
in your song Something Special, the remix with Soji Joseph and Kojo Dave, when I was listening to it, you talk a lot about having something special for somebody.
Yeah.
And there's lines that also hint about regret. So is this song about a particular moment or a relationship? And what is this special thing that you're referring to?
The special thing is it's just I'll say the special thing is, what I have to offer, right? Basically when I was, as you were saying about the regret, I was basically explaining to the girl that I'm pursuing that, being with me or having a relationship together is not something that you will regret, because everything that you need and everything you require is in it.
Okay.
And I'm ready to offer that to you, right? If you take the chance to, have something special. So that's essentially what it is, but can't talk too much because they need to listen to the whole project to really get what I'm
Of course.
I'm saying.
So the other track I listened to, Crabs in a Bucket, it's obviously a metaphor.
Yes.
And what I got from it was that when people want to keep you in this bucket, they don't want you to leave the bucket. They want you to make you stay in this bucket. So how these challenges that you face kind of relate to your personal and professional experiences, about that being like a crab in the bucket.
Yeah, I felt like a crab in a bucket, especially during my time here. I felt that I knew that a lot of people saw something very different in me, a talented person with personality, a character that wasn't from the normal. So I felt that a lot of times people were trying to box me. Because when you see someone that has something significant in them, some people, they don't want to see how far that person can go. So I felt like I was a crab in a bucket in regards to my environment. And then just having people show me love from the UK or from Ghana, but even my own home, But I later on started to figure out that, I'm not in control of that, I'm only in control of the art that I express and create, and whoever is willing to accept it or whoever resonates and likes it will show that appreciation. But my full focus is on what I'm doing, and the rest will work out for good.
So in cinema, what I was hearing was you talking about how people may see you in a certain type of way, kind of say, oh, you're a superstar, you're doing this, you're doing big things. And for you, you're like, I'm not even over there. I'm not. So how do you define success for yourself? Like, what does it look like to you?
No, success is not a destination. For me, success is not a destination. Even, when I obtain it, I'm thinking, okay, I thank God for this achievement, for this milestone. I got to keep pushing. I got to keep driving, right? Because like I said, I do this because I want to leave a significant impact on people and in what I do. And I want to enjoy what I do too. I don't want to be so fixated on how many streams I'm going to get this year. Obviously, I have my own personal goals, but I don't want that to be the thing to drive me to continue, right? So, yeah, for me, success is not a destination. I just keep enjoying the journey and, hope for the best. Plan for the best, but hope that, as I plan, I experience the best that I work towards.
So you just keep going up.
Just keep going up.
So when Far Away Love, what I got from it, it seems that the recurring theme is long, like I hear long distance, and I also hear like I need to chase my dreams, like I really love and care about you, but I need to be chasing my dreams. I need to make the money, even though money's not everything. I still need the money to pursue these dreams. So, and also what I realized about this song too is that you were not asking the person to wait. You were like,
I wasn't.
So can you kind of dig into that? Is this about somebody? Is this a real life experience?
This is a real life experience. This is a real life experience. Pretty much, yes, it is about a long distance love. And I felt that during that time, they didn't understand why I had to leave, why I had to pursue my dreams. Almost like they knew I loved music and I was, this is a career for me. It's not like I just do it for fun, right? I don't think she was able to put herself in my shoes, and I don't blame her for that, right? But like you were saying, in the song, I was describing how I need to do this for me and for the greater good for us if you are going to be part of my life, right? There's that. Like I said, I can't
you know
say
what's funny is that this is the first time like on like camera that you've said anything.
Yeah.
Tea. This is real tea.
It's a little bit of tea, I can't add the sugar yet. You can get the sugar when you listen to In My Own Skin. Of
course. So in Problem, what I'm hearing from that is that you keep talking about how these problems are coming out of nowhere and you're like facing these challenges and you're trying to figure out how to face them. So it's like, it's kind of like things are unpredictable, right? And these things just show up, these conflicts just show up. So how do you navigate when these problems come out of nowhere, like you mentioned? Or do you? Is the real question.
I'm still learning. I'm still learning because I feel that, every time where I'm getting to a certain place in my life where I just feel like nothing can stop me, and somebody wants to come and just interrupt the progress or just like...
Is it somebody?
Somebody or something.
Okay.
Somebody or something.
Is it like somebody as in a relationship or is it anything else?
Anything can think of in your mind.
It comes up.
It comes up trying to stop me in my tracks, right? So, yeah, and it's a big problem. It's a big problem. So I just try to navigate it. I pray about it. I talk to my homeboys. I talk to my family, whoever it is that I feel like can advise me through it. And then I just try to learn as I'm in it.
So with the last track, Testimony, what I got from it was it's kind of like, I want to say gratitude letter to God for helping you come out of challenges and things that you faced. So how would you say?
It's like you were in the studio with me.
No, I mean, because when I listen to any project, like lyrically, production wise, like I always try to full scope around it. So that's why, like with Testimony, was that's what I got from it. So how does faith play a role in your life and helping you achieve things and like go through times that are tough and hard for you to navigate?
Yeah, it's a huge part of my life. It's the center of my life. You know, as I've grown with my walk with Jesus, honestly, it's changed my mindset on a lot of things, you know, and I'm still building on it. Every day is a new day for me to like get closer to him. So yeah, in testimony, I just really pour out my gratitude and, you know, explain how much, I understand why I went through this, where I understand why he put certain things in my life to learn how to navigate through. So it's just a letter of gratitude, a heart of gratitude, saying that, hey, like, you know, another storm may come, but I know I believe that you're with me. So, you know, regardless of what it is, like, I'm going to get through it.
Yeah,
so
you'll get through
that's
it.
my testimony.
So we spoke lyrically about like music wise about it. So production wise, what were you thinking? What was your thought process like when you said, okay, I want to do this EP? This is it. Did you come up with the name before, after, or
So no, I came up with the name literally a couple months after I finished it. So I had the project done for a while, and I was like, yo, I need something to really make it feel like home, make it feel like, okay, this is official. I could put it out there once I have, you know, some sort of structure for it. And then my goal was to really work with some homegrown people within Toronto. So my brother Noir helped me on this big time, you know, just on production. Bryce, and then Arnell as well, coming back home to work on the project as well. My boy, the wizard, Elliot Isaac, on the bass. And then Dami, all the way from the UK. Dami has been a blessing to me because for testimony, he produced that. And like I was influenced by the song 23, you know, 23 by Burna Boy. And yeah, he just put something together for me. And, you know, I wanted it to just be a very intimate project and, you know, kind of like the next stage of my music journey. So, yeah.
So with 2024, we saw a lot of, I don't know, people were running for love, or they knew something that the rest of the world didn't know. It was
You're talking about the engagements?
The
proposals, and the wedding.
Proposals, and we love it. We love love.
Yeah.
We love it. So for you, Mr. Juic3Boy, 2025, what's the scope looking like? Are you in love? Are you in love with music?
I'm in love with Jesus.
The video training, you know Jesus listens.
Hey, but it's a fact though. Honestly, like the way this year went, like anything could happen. Anything could happen.
That's true.
Anything can happen, honestly.
So 2025, anything can also happen.
Anything can happen in 2025. I might find the love of my life.
Ooh, okay.
I have is Jesus. It's him. But as a partner, who knows?
It's coming.
Who knows? Amen.
Okay, so one question I like to ask, just to kind of get into an artist's mindset, is 5 senses. So basically, if you were to create your dream world, where there's like sight, sound, taste, touch, smell, we can start with each sense, and then we can create this place. So what would this place look like?
This place, or like
no, like the place dream world.
I was like, what do you mean? You know, that's a tough question.
Like, what would you see? Like, think about what's on the floor or what's like in the space. How does it make you feel? Maybe if you know how it makes you feel, then it could.
It will feel like home.
And home,
comfort, relaxation, quiet.
Okay.
Quiet. It would have a sweet fragrance.
Okay.
A sweet fragrance. I don't know what exactly, but my mom used to get a lot of, you know, those things, those candles. So probably some smell like that. And it will have a lot of calm in it. As soon as you enter, you just feel at peace, you know? Yeah.
So that's what I wanted to ask you about this EP. So for In My Own Skin,
Mhm.
which song on the EP describes your love life
Right now? Oh, my love life with him, or
You know, because then
It-
you would
it-
naturally pick Testimony. So no, you can't pick Testimony. It has to be something else. And why?
And why?
Mhm.
Boy, she's really trying to put me out there. Okay, let's be real. Can it be 2 songs?
Yeah, you can pick 2.
Okay, it might be. Okay, it's in between Something Special, Faraway Love, and then Problem.
You said, you said 2, and now you mentioned 3.
No, it's in between. Like, some days it's Something Special, some days it's Faraway Love, some days it's Problem.
Just listen to the EP, guys.
Just listen
at
to
this
the
point.
EP, In My Own Skin, out everywhere.
All right. So this segment is called Ask Lebanon. You get to ask me 2 questions that I don't know what you're gonna ask me. Okay. And I'll answer them. This is the part I dread, but must do because I'm asking you a lot. So at least let me give something.
Definitely. I get to be an interviewer now.
For 2 questions.
All right. So, Lebanon Mau, how does it feel to be fully in your career now? I know we used to have conversations about this, looking at the steps to take, just being passionate about this and naturally having that gift of speaking to people, finding out what they love to do and their passions. How does it feel to actually be here now?
It feels surreal because when you dream of something, but you never think you're actually pursuing it.
Yeah.
And shout out to Tell a Story Hive, but like that, getting funding from them was like, okay, there's no dulling now. Like you have to do this.
Yeah.
So it's been a learning process. Like I've learned a lot. Production days take me out, but just like everything, and even the skills I learned in school, like journalism school, also help me with how I craft things and how I do things.
Yeah.
We're still waiting to get paid in Jesus' name. But I'm just excited to see where it can take me. It is hard where I'm living. But I know that eventually it will work out. Right now, the support from family is what is she doing?
Yeah.
Is this thing gonna actually be lucrative? But I know later on down the line, it takes work. When you're studying anything, it takes time for things to progress. So I always have to remind myself, it's not like you don't go from 0 to 100.
Yeah.
Things take time. And also I think the main thing for me that keeps
brick by brick.
Yeah. Main thing that keeps me going is I feel honored when people share their stories with me. So even if I'm like tired and I don't want to post, I'm like, this person shared their story with me and their experience. So I owe it to them to at least push this out there.
Yeah.
And dig deep. So
yeah, just to piggyback off of what you briefly shared with the support of your parents, where do you feel like that's at right now as you're, continuing to do
I've been making reels and hiding, okay? Because it's just like, they're like, okay, I think for my parents my dad's a pastor.
Wow.
So
I didn't know this.
Yeah, not a lot of people know. So
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So not on his side, but my mom is very much like, can you just make a Christian podcast or like a Christian show?
But I do feel like you do, and not to say that I feel like, and I could be wrong, but I do feel like you have put God as a center of your life, and he's used different skills to, incorporate other things as well. It's not that, like in the body of Christ, we'll all have different skills and talents and gifts, just how we're using it. And I feel like you're using it pretty well to his glory.
Yeah, definitely. I think there's some days I cry. I was like, even finding Josh, shout out to Josh, videographer. I was even finding him. I was like, crying. I was like, I need to find somebody.
Shout out to Josh.
It's been a learning curve. It's been a process. And right now, like, I know I can integrate God in a way in the show. Like, and even with like, even if I was to start a whole biblical, there's a lot of things, and people have a lot to say. And if you say the wrong thing,
exactly,
it's over for you.
That's the one thing. Not to get into a whole segment. I know, gotta wrap up, but I feel like people, especially ones that choose to follow Christ, not everybody is gonna be a teacher. Not everybody is there in that point to do that, right? So having that discernment and also knowing what you're putting out there, because you can be the difference in leading someone away from God or bringing them closer to him. So gotta be mindful about it.
Yeah, I think there's different aspects of it, and it's still something I'm learning. Even like when I started the show, the way I thought, the direction, I was like, which way am I go? I thought I was going a certain way, but now it's turned into something else. So even like learning that as I go, things are gonna come up and it's gonna be different.
For sure.
Not every episode is different. Not every conversation is the same. So just leaning into that and being able to take it in.
Yeah. I'm proud of you.
Thank you. So other than the EP this year, is there any visual projects that are going to come out with it? What should the people be looking out for?
Definitely visuals for In My Own Skin. Definitely going to see some visuals for that. And then after the project, you'll see what we got. We got working with. We'll see.
Are there any like artists that are in the Afrobeats or world or scene that you would love to collaborate with?
I wish you were watching this right now.
You never know. You never know.
Like in the diaspora or in Africa?
Oh, it could be either or.
Mon frère, Taiki.
Oh yeah.
Holla at me, boy. Taik, if anybody doesn't know, he's a Cameroonian French singer. He's amazing. He just put out EP. It's called Testimony.
Okay.
Called Testimony. Audio. I've been following him for a while. I really love how he, creates Thames. Self-explanatory. Thames.
Okay.
Can I name one more?
Name a Ghanaian one.
A Ghanaian one?
Mm-hmm.
King Promise.
I was gonna say that. I was gonna say that.
But it's not only him. Like
there's
Black
a lot.
Sharif, Stonebwoy. I would love to work with Jackie.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think there's
Jackie.
something there.
There's so many.
There are a lot.
There's a lot.
There are a lot more than we know. So, can you share like your social media with us?
Yes.
Where people can find you, where people can find the project?
Yes. So you can find the project In My Own Skin, the EP on all music platforms: Apple Music, Spotify, Audio Mac, Tidal, everywhere. YouTube. My socials: Instagram is I am Juic3Boy. So I am Juic3Boy. Twitter, Juic3Boy, @Juic3Boy. I'm also on TikTok. I haven't been so active, but definitely as the EP rollout continues, you'll see more videos there. So my TikTok is Juic3Boy as well, Juic3Boy. And yeah.
All right, so this has been another incredible, insightful episode of Chop It Up with your girl, Lebanon Mawutor. Stay tuned as we're going to have more episodes coming out. Make sure you check out his new EP, In My Own Skin. Make sure you download it, share it, like, subscribe, all of it. Also subscribe to our channel, our Spotify, our Apple Music for more. And have a great day, night, future, wherever you are. Life, wherever you are. Bye-bye.
Peace.